All right, so we are back in the dojo of the sensei. I'm here for a couple more days in Breakdown Land. We got some special things cooking up, coming up. But today's video is simple. My boy Vidal Riley got to interview KSI, the reunion of the two good, probably great friends, brothers you could say, former coach, former pupil. They made history in this scene and they're finally back together. And the topics of conversation I thought were very interesting. So I wanted to take a look. I want to break it down. Now, we all know that Vidal Riley is the realist for a reason. He's going to do his best to keep it real here with KSI, and I think KSI is a pretty genuinely honest dude for the most part, and I think that there's going to be some things here that KSI is going to open up more with Vidal than he really would anyone else. So let's take a look. KSI, Vidal, informal, formal interview, the reunion of the two, and the big question, what makes KSI tick? The breakdown. Let's go.
Welcome back to the realest channel on YouTube. It's been a while, my bro.
Yo.
But we rekindle again.
What are these pants KSI is rocking right now? These are Zubaz pants from the 1990s. They look like parachute pants from Rocket Power. And then we got my boy Vidal. I'm pissed my boy Vidal doesn't wear the vest more that I gave him in these videos. He was rocking that vest, but KSI's room's always dope. His setup's sick. He's got all the Prime bottles. He's got him in the Prime bottle. Not sure what this is. People are going to have to enlighten me on that. A couple things back there, and then the peace sign like he did to me when I went to Kingpin. So that's what's going on there in KSI's shelf. Let's take a listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, no matter what happens in life, nothing will tear us apart. Yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, I don't think there was anything that was going to
tear us apart anyway.
Yeah.
No, but we get busy, innit? Like, you're a hard man to track down.
Well, yeah.
I play difficult to track down.
Well, you're just always late.
Yeah. But perfect timing, sometimes it feels like I'm too late, but the perfect time, I know I'm the great.
Ooh, okay. Bars! And it took me a while to get ready. I wore the bucket hat because the drip is wetter than London weather.
When you did see Tommy
Yes.
at the press conference,
Yeah.
What's the first thing you thought? Being honest.
First thing I thought, I was like, yeah, he's a big guy, but then I thought, this is the biggest he's going to be. Because, when I see him on fight day, he's going to be smaller than he already is. I already know he's well over 200 pounds. But, I know he's going to be starving himself to reach 183.
I don't think he's going to be starving himself to reach 183. I think Tommy has gotten this weight cut down pretty much to a science. Like, he's gotten to 185, he's gotten to 183, he's gotten to 175 before. So yes, it will be a cut for Tommy, but there is no rehydration here. So JJ talking about he's the biggest he will be. Tommy can easily put that 20 pounds back on, at least 15 of it, in one day.
There's no rehydration clause.
Yeah.
Which I rate. Because I think too much these days, people are limited. The first thing you smoke him, the first thing he will say is that.
Yeah.
If there was a
rehydration clause, that's why you were able to beat me.
That's true. I mean, for Tommy, that would not be anywhere near an acceptable excuse. If Tommy loses this fight to JJ, it's purely because JJ beat him. There's no reason that Tommy could have an excuse for JJ beating him. Like, if he loses this fight with the skill level that he possesses and the years of experience he has on JJ, he flat out just got beat. Tommy should win this fight. So if he loses, I don't want to hear the excuses about rehydration, none of that.
So I don't want there to be any excuse.
No, I thought that is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it makes it more like exciting because how much can he gain overnight? Like, you can gain.
Yeah, no, I know he can gain a decent amount, but like, especially with my game plan, it doesn't really matter how much he gains. Like,
it's just...
JJ says it doesn't really matter how much he gains, especially with my game plan. The only thing I can think of what JJ's trying to say there is that no matter how much weight Tommy gains, he's not going to be able to utilize said weight. So that makes me think KSI is going to try to disengage from all clinches and be very quick in and out, right? He's not hanging around in the pocket too much, which JJ really doesn't anyway. One of the things I think he should be more successful with is his darting in and out, and while he is in range, taking advantage of whatever he can and getting the fuck out, because like he said, the way that Tommy uses that weight is either behind punches or in the clinch positions, body weight on JJ, making him hold it, tying him up. And the one thing JJ just can't plan for is potentially how big Tommy is and how he rolls with shots, being able to take shots better than anyone JJ's ever fought.
I don't know, is there anything about him you dislike right now? Like something that gets
genuine.
Or you just trolling him?
No, I just trolling him. I think he's just in my way, man. He's in my way to that beautiful word that I have up there.
No, but you see, but you know, I genuinely believe. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But when we was in Vegas,
yeah,
that's when it hit you.
Bro, facts.
About legacy.
Yeah. No, not even. It was the first fight against Logan.
Oh, Logan. First fight against Logan.
Bro,
okay.
After, like, when you were just, like, you know, putting it on me, and you were saying I'm rounds down, bro. Like, I'm losing this fight. And then I just had to find deep within, like, what am I fighting for? And then,
I mean, the man has the word not just on his wall, it's tattooed on his back. Legacy does mean everything for KSI as far as what he leaves behind in the YouTube scene, whether that's the YouTube specific to his channel, whether it's the music. There is a legacy he wants to leave behind. There is a name he wants to represent what he did for his time here. And that same message goes throughout all his businesses, throughout everything he does. And so you can't hate. So I have nothing but respect for what KSI is trying to do here by taking on the challenge of Tommy Fury. We've seen what happened when Jake tried this, but just taking on a challenge that is almost insurmountable in most scenarios of this fight is why JJ has built legacy on top of legacy with everything he does. You have to commend it. You have to respect it, because just because I don't think he'll beat Tommy, or just because someone else doesn't think that, or maybe not even anyone outside of his close friends, his training partners, his coaches, his family think that, this is why JJ does what he does. This is why he's doing it. To prove people like me, people like whoever's watching this and thinks he's not going to beat Tommy wrong, and to build legacy. Gotta respect it.
But not for me, man. When it gets hard, I just work harder.
And that's, you know why.
It. Yeah. And I have a reason why, and I scream it in my head. And that's why I just struggle to lose.
Legacy is
it's a big deal, man. Everybody needs a why. Why I do YouTube, why you guys do what you do in your daily lives, that you're trying to better yourself and get on your own path. Everyone needs a why. It is the driver, the sole reason why you either succeed or fail is why you do what you do. If there is no why, or if your why means less than your reason not to do something, you're not going to succeed at that thing. JJ's got the right mindset to do whatever he genuinely wants to do in life.
Yeah.
Like the fact that nothing is in his favor turns you into some next madman.
Like the amount of videos I've watched of people saying I have no chance, I keep watching them.
I know.
Because it's just...
He's got a psycho. You see, look, he's a
sicko.
He's a sick
I'm
guy.
just saying, like, cool, yeah. All right, I got your name and your name and your name. And then, bro, after, I can't wait to make a video just being like, all the people who said I told you.
JJ said this to me. Criticism of what JJ's trying to do and build his legacy is silly. Now, saying it's maybe not likely that he does it is just a take that people have because of skill-based matchmaking in this fight. That's really all that is. But JJ said this to me even when he had a falling out with me over the whole have fun on Kingpin thing. When it was on Twitter, I think, or something, and essentially he was like, I can't wait to see your face when I knock Jake Paul out. He wants the people he perceives to be against him, or even the people that aren't against him but just don't think he can do something, to see him do it and then tell him he told them so, which is, an ego move for sure, but it's also a driver. It's also a why. It's also a very personal thing to JJ when you doubt him, or again, anybody that has this kind of mindset. The greatest athletes that I've ever watched and the greatest businessmen that you probably ever have seen in this world, all the greats have that competitive nature about them to go, watch me prove you wrong, even when everyone counts them out. And again, if JJ proves me wrong, I think we'll all stand up and clap more than Strawberry Twist over at the Rhino Spearmint nightclub throwing it back on a freaking stripper pole. I don't know that club. I've never been there. Don't quote me on it, but you get what I'm saying. And it's absolutely what he should be doing because it's personal to him. It's his why.
And it's funny because me and you sit here and there's times where people are like, Vidal, you fight Tommy. JJ fight Tommy. Yeah. And it's like, Vidal, you fight Tommy. And then people say to me, oh, you talking about Tommy's going to piss off JJ because... I'm like, I can't interfere in their fight. Let me tell you something right now. Me, I can't interfere. No matter what I say, the fight is always here. Do you understand? The fight was always going to happen with JJ. It's supposed to happen.
The reason the fight is there with JJ is not because Vidal was going to ever interfere with it. Like he said, Tommy knows what we all know. Vidal Riley smokes his boots.
My first title fight as a professional.
Let's go. September 30th, your call. What we saying? My man taking on this guy, Nathan Quarterless, a.k.a. Quarterless, because he ain't got any sense or business being in this fight with my guy, Vidal Riley. Give him the belt, bro. English Cruiserweight title. Go and support my guy, Vidal Riley, man. This is a big, big fight. Not because of the name value of his opponent, more so because of the hardware and what that English Cruiserweight title means. I want to talk about someone doing it differently. Vidal Riley could have easily just done the influencer boxing thing with the millions of followers, and they would have found him a fight eventually. He's doing a different route. He is doing what Tommy Fury says he wants to do. I'm going to be a world champion one day. Fighting KSI and Jake Paul's not going to get you there, buddy. Vidal Riley absolutely will.
What has been your favorite press conference?
My favorite press conference?
Which one you like? Yeah, that was sick. Yeah.
I think, honestly, it was the first one with Joe Weller, not the one like fight week one.
When we was all sitting at the table.
Yeah.
True Geordie was doing.
Bro, I felt like I was just.
Bro, they really do need to put True Geordie back on these press conferences. Like my man Brian needs to eat, dog. I think this scene is sorely missing True Geordie. He's always been a staple of it, whether it's on commentary, press conferences, somewhere on the show, face-to-face, something, in some way. Get him on there.
I think my favorite one might be the one that we done outside in LA.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. No, that was the second fight.
The second fight, but the first
press conference. Yeah. And then we was outdoors, and I tried to dress smart. I remember I had the waistcoat on and that man was sweating. I was sweating so bad. But I thought, yeah, I'm gonna try to be smart today.
Freaking look at I just want to go back really quick. Like look at the names on stage, man. Back when Larry Wade was still with KSI there. Lee, DAZN's head of boxing there as well. Whoever cut this, leaving the freaking dotted lines. Maybe they're trying to tell us to connect the dots. Editor for Vidal, connect the dots between all the press conferences leading into. Okay, see, I'm reading too much into it now. But again, it's fun to see this. That was a goated presser, though. That was a goated one. KSI's favorite one, obviously him just teeing off on Joe Weller. But this one was the start of that second fight, which became, until I would think, until this moment, at least on the KSI side of things, the biggest event that he and Logan had been a part of. But now KSI and Logan on the same card. This prime card is by far the biggest event we've seen.
Try to be smart today. That was a good one. I think that was a. What about your favorite fight night so far? What's been the one where you're walking down the ramp or you're walking to the ring and you just, even after you win, what's the favorite feeling right now out of all your fights?
You know, my most favorite, you might be a little surprised, is the Joe Weller one.
Yeah.
Bro, when everyone was booing me, it just made me so happy. It's weird. I love negative energy.
Look at that face, bro.
It just made me so happy. It's weird.
See that smile starting to come up? Listen, he's going to say it.
Of negative energy. It just...
You know, people
for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But KSI does, man. He absolutely does. He loves being the villain because it's easy to be the villain. It's easy to be motivated by hate, vitriol, because it's an external motivating factor. When people are in your corner and people believe that you're going to do something, and almost to a fault. Like when KSI goes and fights some of these guys, he is expected to go out and perform well, and everyone's in his corner, everyone's supporting him, and that's great. Like, I love support. I think everybody else does, but sometimes you do take it for granted. And I'm not saying KSI is doing that, but it's easy to look at support, say thank you, and move on, but it's harder to look at someone that's talking that shit to you or booing you or cursing you out and act like that doesn't go into your head and how it affects you. KSI is just very good at going, oh, you don't like me? Good. That just fuels me. Sometimes it's like the Monsters Inc. thing, but in reverse. You know how in Monsters Inc. screams and terror give the energy to fuel the Monsters Inc. city, but laughter is ultimately far more powerful. In KSI's case, it's the complete opposite. Hate him, boo him, call him names. It just fuels him more.
I'm on loop. I love negative energy.
But
I know what you mean though. I fully know.
Bro, like when everyone's like on your side and they're like, oh yeah, you got this, da 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 da. I know it don't hit the same when everyone's like, nah, fuck you, bro. There's no way you've got this.
Yeah.
You are the loser. You're going to lose. Boo, boo. And I'm just there like,
cool.
Nice.
And then everyone cheers.
The reason that motivates KSI as much as it does, though, is because he hasn't really ever lost. Ever. Especially since he started the YouTube thing. I'm sure he's lost in his personal, I'm not talking about that, but as a professional, KSI really doesn't lose. He has won almost everything he's done, so in his mind, he can't lose. He just can't. And again, that is a massive external factor, is that he knows he's going to prove these people wrong. In this Tommy Fury fight, he thinks the same thing. Will be interesting, though, to see what happens when psychology isn't all it takes to win.
Bro, we know from day one you got power.
Yeah.
When you knocked out that guy in gym box. That guy in the cage.
Yeah.
The first time, I said, the first time I took JJ on the pads, I said, ooh, he's got a dig.
Yeah.
Dig. Then you're sparring that guy.
Oh, what? Hey, yo! What did he say?
Bro, we know from day one you got power.
Yeah.
When you knocked out that guy in gym box. That guy in the cage.
Yeah.
The first time, I said, the first time I took JJ on the pads, I said, ooh, he's got a dig.
Yeah.
He's got a dig. Okay. I said, hold on a second, buddy. Okay, sorry.
I remember it so vividly. He was like, I don't need a head.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, I said to him, I think you should wear a headguard. Yeah. He said, don't need a headguard.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Then literally about 2 rounds later, man just fell. Flop. And at that moment, I said, is someone this
Okay. Woo! Hold on a second here, buddy.
Man just fell.
Jab.
And at that
overhand slap.
Moment, I said,
wobbled him. Boom! Straight right hand down the pipes, and the lights go out in Stratford. Obviously, the intent of sparring is not to do that every single time, right? Of course not. And which is why, by the way, when we do this, we see Vidal Riley going, oh, no. Funny enough, I'm in the Sensei Dojo right now. He just told me a story about this, and I think he even did a video way back in the day on it, how he and JJ were talking during this time period, because this was, leading up to the Joe fight. KSI had brought Sensei out to help him, or at least I think it's the same time period. He's in here somewhere. Sensei!
It had to be like a week out from, I don't know whenever this was.
Right.
Okay, but it was close to fight week. And he had a couple sparring sessions left, and he was, making a lot of progress. This was after I had sparred, and the first time when I had gone out there and worked with him. And I was like, bro, just go for it, because this was his first fight, right? So he hadn't had any smokers yet. Only real fight experience. Bro, seriously, the only fight experience he had was sparring, right? Okay. So I was like, he probably was turning up in sparring anyways, but it just so happened that I was like, dude, go for it in sparring. I know they're sparring partners, but don't hold back. Make sure you get that feeling that you're gonna get fight night, because fight night is gonna be different, right?
And then he sends
he sends me a text of this video before it comes out.
Right.
He's like, yo, look what happened. Look at sparring. And I was like, oh, snap. Like, okay.
What did you say when you saw this? Boom.
It was kind of like, I forget the text, dude, but I was just like, God damn. It was one of those.
Was that the moment you knew, okay,
yeah,
I was in trouble?
Yeah, because sometimes, people get too wild, but he clearly demonstrated he had the power and he could fight. You know what I mean? We knew we had something here. Then I was like, oh, let's get ready for Joe Weller, dude. And I was just waiting for that.
There he is, folks. Face Sensei with the special guest spot there. Appreciate it, bro.
What do you think? Just say what you can say.
Okay.
Of Logan and Jake's relationship right now.
Logan and Jake's relationship.
Do you think anyone's in the wrong? Do you think they both have a point? Do you think you can see where Jake's coming from?
I think with brothers, there's always gonna be that competitive side.
Shit, you know about that.
That's legit what I was gonna say. Like me and Deji, we've been through it publicly. We've had fallouts, like major fallouts.
Very
and
true,
like,
you know.
It's funny because KSI and Deji, like he said, have gone through almost this exact thing. Maybe not in the same exact way, but they were very public in their fallout just as early as last year, maybe 2 years ago now. I don't remember when it was, but this thing, and even before that with the whole diss tracks and all that, they have done almost the exact same thing. So KSI knows a lot about this, and probably why he hasn't spoke a ton on it is because he probably understands, much like the rest of us do, that at the end of the day, listen, I have my opinions on it. It's public, so I cover it, and I talk about what I think is in the right and wrong, but those two are brothers, and they're going to know each other better than I know them or anybody else does. But there is a right and there is a wrong way to go about specific situations. I don't have to be a brother to understand who's in the right and wrong in certain situations. The overarching argument of who's right, who's wrong, what's going on, sometimes we don't know all of it that goes on. We just know what they say on camera and what happens in front of the camera. Again, just like Jake and Logan had their spat, he probably realizes how detrimental this whole thing is to even talk about online for the family dynamic. So I doubt he's really going to give too much on one side or the other.
It's one of the things where it just happens, man, and you kind of just have to let them deal with it. Yeah, like you don't try and get in the way, because obviously they know each other more than anyone else. Of course. So yeah, it's one of the things where you just gotta let them go at it and let them do their thing.
I think it's just techie. It's just hard because obviously you and Logan get on well. You and Logan get on well, and his brother is your number one enemy.
Well, I think with Logan, he's like, I fought KSI, and it was hard. And Jake's there like, KSI ain't nothing. Logan's never fought anyone good, or and he kind of like just dismisses the fact that I fought him.
Right.
And it's
JJ may be right about that, and that's how Logan may feel, but that's not how this whole conversation of who's the better boxer and why is it getting so personally involved feelings-wise started with these two. Logan has flat out said to Jake's face that people are scared of Logan and are ducking him to have an easier fight with Jake. When Logan calls his little brother the easier fight to his face, Jake's not just going to sit there and be like, yeah, bro, you're right. All because Logan fought KSI twice, then had an exhibition with Floyd that he convinced himself he won when the entire world, including Jake, knew he didn't. Yet Jake still supported him. And even when he said he lost to JJ, he tells Logan if they fought today, Logan would beat him because he thinks Logan's better now. In my personal opinion, from the outside, the only reason Jake comes with the dismissal is because Logan has done it and continues to do it to Jake first.
Twice, yeah, like, and we've all seen how big Logan is. He's a unit.
No,
he's huge.
He is. I remember the first time I saw him, I thought,
yeah, it's a long day, bro. It's a long day. And bro, you see all the WWE stuff?
Yeah.
He's doing flips.
This dude swears he's the Katniss Everdeen of Crypto Zoo Hunger Games. Turns out he was the one that set the whole thing up.
He's athletic.
He's athletic. He's a specimen. So, for me to even be able to beat him was ridiculous. Like, everyone...
You was underdog.
I was the underdog.
You was the underdog. I'm the underdog.
Chance. And it's the same, you got Tommy flexing all that, his muscles. Everyone's like, look how big he is. But then, what do? I always manage to win. Yeah, I find a way.
This is not the same, though. He beat Logan when everyone said he couldn't, so he's going to beat Tommy, the big muscled-up guy, when everyone said he couldn't. Logan and Tommy Fury are nowhere near the same level skill-wise then to now, right? Tommy Fury now is far better than Logan then, and far better than even Tommy Fury then. He has continued to progress. So I get what he's saying, and I get the mindset behind it, but these two were not the same.
So, I think with Logan, maybe there's a bit of him that is maybe a bit annoyed that Jake is always like dismissing that. This might not even be a thing, but this is me just trying to just talk. Just dismissing the fight. I just between that. Also, Prime as well. Yeah. The success of Prime. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know,
This I agree with. Whether Jake wants to admit it or not, the success of Prime, because JJ's involved with it and because Logan and JJ are doing business together and they're the ones that got this new relationship with, again, Jake's, I don't know if it's enemy, but the guy he doesn't like very much. When Jake wants to do business with Logan, yeah, that probably stings, for sure. And again, that's not JJ's fault. That's not KSI's fault at all. He's out here doing business, making moves, doing his thing. And to be fair, Logan's doing that too. It's just one of those situations where it's like, you know that's your brother's enemy, right? Again, we've spoken on it enough. This isn't JJ's fault.
I don't think Prime would have been as successful if it was Jake and Logan.
It wouldn't.
It just wouldn't.
It wouldn't. I think that the whole thing...
That's 100% a fair point. Prime's success definitely has a lot to do with KSI being the babyface of that company. Like Logan's association with KSI, I can speak personally to the fact that KSI fans will now defend Logan. It's because of JJ's goodwill and his fandom and the people that, again, genuinely rock with him, that Logan has partnered with him. Make no mistake about it. Like the goodwill he got there is not something he would have with Jake fans. Good faith is a really, really big factor, and I don't know if that's why Logan did it with JJ instead of Jake, but it absolutely is a benefit of doing that.
When you lot being enemies, then becoming...
Exactly, there was a story. There was an art to it. There was, you know, it's...
If I was Jake, I'd be pissed. If I was Jake, I'd be pissed, I'll be honest. Because I'm just like... Obviously, you want him to be pissed.
I did.
Listen, though, it's all right, bro.
If Deji did business with Jake, and they did some sort of company, and they were working together, and they were always together, and Jake was yelling, fuck KSI, at every single turn that they could, on every single tour that they did, with the fans chanting it as well, which I don't know how many people would chant that, but still, JJ would be pissed. And he knows that too. And it's not, again, JJ's fault that he's doing that. It's just seeing the other side of that situation. Of course, you have to understand why Jake's upset about that.
Bro, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You want your enemy to be pissed. It's life. It's just life. That's how it works. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I've always said this. Like, I just feel like I'm better than Jake. I don't, like, care about anything else he does. It's just the fact that he's there always saying, like, he's better than me. And then and that's why even same with Gib. Like, I don't hate Gib. I'm just competitive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I just feel like I'm better than
these men.
And that's it. And because I say that, everyone says, I hate these guys, Bro, that's, like, always been my main thing.
The whole Gib thing is a little different because while JJ's saying he doesn't hate Gib, Gib has come out publicly and said, bro, you have said things behind the scenes that you're not saying to me in person, and this back and forth thing started with, oh, you wanted to support me, now you don't. It seems like Gib thinks it's a little more personal. At the end of the day, it is all revolving around competition, which does bring out personal feelings, especially when it is competition between close friends or bitter enemies. It's just emotional. It's a fight game. That's how it works. And when that continues and the person like Gib says, you know what, no, I'm better than you, that's of course going to drive it back and forth, and that's how we get to where we're at.
Just saying that I'm better and I want to prove it.
That you are.
And that's why, instead of me wasting my time waiting for Jake, I'll let me just indirectly show him by beating Tommy.
But you know.
It's kind of done.
You know.
Yeah.
People still will throw that question at you.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as bad, because then they'll be like, oh, but you did beat Tommy, so.
I don't think so, you know.
Nah, man.
I don't think so.
Then people, I know people want to come through with the styles make fights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they'll come through with. But I don't even think it's about a styles make fights.
I even feel like Logan doesn't want me to fight Jake. Because Logan knows how hard I train. He knows I'm relentless. Logan's fought me. He knows how long it is, you know, to fight me.
He has the first-hand experience.
Like, I'm not the type of guy, like, yes, even if you have everything on me, there's this little bit inside of me that just never gives up.
Yeah,
but regardless, the fight still needs to happen. We as a community would be robbed of it for all the shit they talked and all the back and forth. It just has to, bro. It has to. Here we are 5 years later and it hasn't, so I don't know. I don't know how much faith I got anymore. All right, I've given all the faith. I've come to the altar, prayed on it. I've given all the faith. Second part of that, though, is interesting. JJ says he doesn't think Logan wants JJ to fight Jake because he's been in there with JJ and he knows what kind of fighter he is and he knows how hard he trains. And again, he's not saying exactly why it is, but the assumption there is that he thinks that Logan knows that JJ will beat Jake. Maybe he doesn't want his business partner to fight his brother because he knows how competitive this fight could be. If JJ wins, that's going to affect family. If JJ loses, that's going to affect business. So Logan's in a tough spot.
Like, I'm not the type of guy, like, yes, even if you have everything on me, there's this little bit inside of me that just never gives up.
Yeah,
and
that's true. I've seen that.
True.
And it's
true.
And having to fight that having to put your all out into fighting this guy, and then he's still coming forward. It's terrifying.
It is.
But that's not what's happened to JJ so far, right? And again, I'm not trying to discredit what he's saying, because it's true. Like, JJ makes it a difficult fight for everyone, but no one has put everything on JJ yet. No one's put every single shot they have, hit him with everything, and he's still walking forward. Most of the fighters that have fought JJ haven't hit him hard, haven't put anything on him to hurt him. There's one guy that did, one shot. Logan put it on him, one shot. There wasn't a moment in that fight where Logan put everything on JJ, multiple shots, and JJ walked through it all and was still there. If JJ is planning to walk forward through everything to land his big shot, it's a gamble, but it may be one he has to make. This is the first time we'll see if JJ's right or he's wrong about how much he can take and keep moving forward.
I just think as long as you breathe, as long as you breathe, people will always ask when you're fighting Jake. Not only will it be the biggest fight in crossover boxing
if it doesn't happen,
history,
that's true.
One of the biggest fights in boxing history, numbers-wise. I'm telling you.
Bro, no.
If it doesn't happen,
any arena you want to name.
That is true. If it never happens, that will follow both of them until one of them continues on to a level that doesn't make sense. But if that never happens and they don't go to astronomical levels, it will follow them for sure.
Dylan's been going.
Yep.
Hey, Dylan, where does he get the content? What file has he got?
He's got people just sending it to him, man. It's weird to...
Again, Dylan's promoting and he's bringing eyes, and we've talked about how it's not cool. I'll never condone it. But some people seem to get on the hype train of the chaos that surrounds it, and that's just weird behavior, bro. Go get a job. Go outside. Go brush your teeth. Something.
Like trying...
Who's his girl? Who's his Jones?
Whoa!
That's what I want to know.
He just had a baby. Yeah.
Oh, V is on smoke. So where's his girl at? Let's bring her up here. Damn.
He just had a baby.
Don't want to go down that route, V. Don't fight that.
No,
We just seen the baby.
I'm sure Logan could find out.
But you don't want to. You don't want to do it.
The thing is, I talked to him. It's like we don't want to go down that route.
No, it's
We've
a very,
done that. We've been through that.
Yeah, because you was wearing the mask.
Bro, I was wearing the mask.
Yeah.
I was going at his mom, his dad.
Where's your mom at?
Yeah,
Where's
man.
your mom's at? That's what it is.
And it's like, bro, I'm older, I'm wiser.
Yeah.
I don't need to go down that route. We don't need to go down that route.
Dylan better fight, you know.
Bro, Dylan's going to die. Logan's going to kill him.
He better fight, because after this level of trolling,
Facts.
Even if you get knocked out, just fight. Because
Logan has to have a masterful performance, in my opinion, here. He needs to do this for him, more so than anything else. Because if Logan isn't able to obliterate Dylan Dennis, after the things he said, after the things that Logan has said about Dylan, God forbid if Dylan wins, it is a terrible situation for Logan. Logan's got to deliver.
he started.
Kenny's been on smoke, bro. Ever since that performance,
it was a very cold performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, he called him a wank. I thought, rah!
Yeah.
He's on Lee.
Wow.
He's calling Lee those things.
Crazy.
But it was from the video with Wade and Lee.
Hey,
said
we made an appearance.
Kenny was Gib to drown.
Let's go. We made an appearance in the video, which again, this was part of the build for Kenny and Gib. I didn't go to Leon's gym, by the way, with the intention of getting him to say any of the stuff that he said. I was just sitting there going, hey, what do you think about training for the Gib fight? And then happened to mention that Daly said it was an easy fight because that's what Daly had said. The whole, I'm going to want him to break his rib, and then Kenny going back and saying he's an S&C coach, stick to the treadmills. That whole thing came after, but again, it wasn't difficult to continue that story.
From Kenny obviously replies, your Misfits cancel, make the fight happen, you know. Then they continue again. Why are you talking all this shit when your fighter don't even want to fight me? If it's that easy, tell him to bring it. You're an S&C coach. Focus on your treadmills. Kenny's going in.
Facts. That one was crazy. Obviously, Leon's a little bit more than just an S&C coach, but Kenny, I like this Kenny, man. I said this. Kenny talking his shit is the best Kenny. When he's confident Kenny, watch out, dude. Anybody in the scene can get it. Anybody. I love that.
Who you think wins, Kenny or Gib? Kenny's last performance was mad.
It doesn't really matter because the fight's not going to happen per the CEO of Misfits, KSI. But let's hear what he has to say if the fight were to happen in some mythical land on another influencer boxing promotion. Again, I get that the reason he's not doing it is because he wants to prove that no one else can do it like Misfits can do it, so we're not going to pick up the scraps left behind. But again, let's just...
Kenny's last performance was mad, but obviously Windy didn't do nothing.
Vidal called Wenderson and Nunes Wendy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jesus.
With Gib, it's
a good one.
Yeah, it's a good fight because I feel like with Kenny,
it's a good fight. Interesting.
If he's just able to be decent with the jab, just put Gib at bay, keep him on the outside, I think Gib will probably struggle to get inside, but then Gib is just an engine, bro.
He keeps going.
That's it. So, and I think eventually he'll break your will.
Yeah.
And Kenny will just be like, all right, this is long, double guard, and then it's GG.
This is what Lee said.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. But Kenny's also a better inside fighter now than he was in the Face Sensei fight. So again, there is some parity there. There are some things that Kenny can do in the inside game that he couldn't before. There are things that Gib can do from distance that he couldn't before. This is what makes the fight interesting and why we want to watch it. But nevertheless,
drown him.
That's it. Yeah.
This is it, and I think I predict Kenny to have a great start.
Yeah. I think most people think Kenny will have a good start, but then it's what
people rely on. He'll slow down.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't.
Yeah.
Gib doesn't.
Yeah.
You and him have done rounds or did rounds and rounds, and he don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't know where we'll see it. Wink, wink. Don't know where we'll see it because maybe
Kingpin 2.
Yeah, 2.0.
Yeah.
That's why. That right there is why. Again, for Misfits, for the people there, that's the boss man. So you don't want the fight, it's not happening. It just seems detrimental to the scene you want to build to not have it. That's all I said. Get his reasons. Don't make the most sense to me, but I get them. But yeah, that is where we end today's video. It's been a long one. I understand that, but comment section, it's time for you to let me know, what do you get from KSI here? The confidence, the thought process, the mindset as a fighter and as a CEO as to what makes KSI tick. Is this guy ready physically, mentally for the Tommy Fury fight? At least what we can gather. And lastly, maybe the most importantly, are we seeing the last little bits of KSI? Because I remember what he said to Logan Paul all the way back on their podcast. I think it was in True Geordie's Loft. When he's done with this internet thing, he's going to vanish. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like I'm starting to see him slowly take those steps that way. I don't want that to be the case. I want KSI to be around. I want him to beat Tommy, but it does seem like we're getting to the end game. And if that's the case, appreciate KSI for all he's done. Don't always agree with him, but it is a pleasure to cover him and watch him, again, try to prove his why. Now, those things we don't have answers for, but he seems to, at least up here in October 14th, he's going to prove that to me, to you, to everyone else. What happens when he steps in that ring? What happens with Misfits in year 2? What happens with influencer boxing? I don't have those answers, but I guess we'll find out.